Tomorrow morning, the hot news will be Delta Airlines with their earnings call before market opens. I'm James, your favorite ticker picker. Welcome back to my stock channel. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel for regular updates on Delta and your favorite airlines: American, JetBlue, Spirit Airlines, Alaska Airlines. We're covering all of them. We're actively tracking them, tracking the price points, doing polling, stuff like that, to find out how good business is at any particular moment. None of that information is meaningful until we have enough of it built up. So it's probably going to be a couple more weeks until we can start telling you some actual statistical anomalies, like prices going up, prices coming down, occupancy up, occupancy down. There's stuff, we're going to find a rating system to be able to report this to you. But Delta Airlines reports tomorrow morning. They are going to decide what happens to the airlines tomorrow, and if this company blows up with a great earnings and this thing goes to $60, you're going to see the prices of all of the airlines follow. This one is the line leader in the earnings season. They're going to go first. Delta. Dun, 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 dun. And this is going to be a big one. The CEO came out about a month ago and said, hey, we had a much better quarter than we thought. We were killing it. We have bent up demand. People are scrapping each other to get on planes. The stock went from 41 to 48 pretty much after he said that. The president of the CEO of JetBlue came out and said the same thing. Went from 750 to 884. Hello. America Airline, yep, same thing. Went from 16 and change up to 1857. Now, the airlines haven't returned back to profitability except for Delta for the most part. Most of them are still just under profitability, and they haven't been able to do that. They got their flights back, they got their passengers back, they got their revenue back. They just didn't get their profit back. And the profit's the last thing that comes back. You don't get the profit back before the revenue. You get the profit back after the revenue. Carnival Cruise Line just put up negative 31 cents earnings per share for the quarter. And it was the number one most booked quarter that the company's ever had in its history. They've brought more passengers on their boat than ever before. The highest... It wasn't the revenue all-time high hit, but it was the passenger high hit. They had to discount some tickets to get the people on the board. And they got on the board, and the stock went up big time, obviously on the news. And now they got their prices right, and they're fully booked through Christmas. And the travel industry is doing great. People are looking to leave the country. They're doing international vacations, and a lot of these carriers now fly all over the world. And they have JetBlue flights from the USA to Europe now for like less than $500, completely changing the game. To fly from New York to Chicago per passenger, it's about $10 in gas. I used to think gas was a big, meaningful part of this industry. It's probably not, unless your planes are empty, then it becomes a big deal. But if there's a regular plane full of people, gas prices are not that influential, you wouldn't think. They'd probably just bake it right into the ticket price. But tomorrow will be the telltale for the airlines. Will Delta, how will they do? Will they do better earnings than they did before? Let's see how they did on earnings. They made $735 million, $698 million. They're making money through most of the year, and then they lost some money. They lost $363 last quarter. But these aren't Delta's numbers that they're used to. I think they're used to more 4.77 billion in profit. That's what they're looking to get back to, which is about, we'll call that 1.2 billion per quarter in profit. So these quarters here were not 1.2 billion. They were like half that. This one was 829. This one was 695. This one was 715. So even all three of these, even though they were in the pluses, they're still half of the pluses that they used to be, and that's why Delta hasn't recovered all the way yet. JetBlue, same kind of situation. Quarterly, they threw up some really crappy win, and here's a win, and here's a little losses. So they can throw up little tiny wins here. They got their revenue back, that's for sure. Look, their revenue is higher than pre-COVID, but their profit was $569 million in 2019, and well, they lost money in 2022. So I guess I can kind of tell you the story. But if you want to look at it quarterly, even on their wins, they're only winning 50 million and 24 million. They're nowhere on the track that they were on, which was 570 million. Now they're looking at like 80 million. So it's a much weaker, much smaller, much less profitable company, even with this great big huge revenue line. And the reason that the revenue line hasn't come back yet is it will. They're just finishing up their housekeeping from COVID. They got the ships full, they got the planes full. Now they get to raise the prices up a little bit, and and people are sweltering to it, and they're going there, and they're paying more, and they're getting more per flight. The profit from a flight can range anywhere from $15,000 for a half full JetBlue flight. That's how much revenue the flight would collect, to a peak of around $40,000. If they sell that plane out, they get $40K for the 2-hour flight. If they don't sell the plane out, they could get $15 or $20K for the 2-hour flight. It makes a big difference in a huge way how well the plane fills out. If it's getting almost full or full, they're killing it. They're doing every single route 1,000 times a day at 30 grand each, at 35, at 40 grand each. They were doing that many a year ago, but they were only bringing half that, or there was no profit attached to it. There was no markup. They discounted all of their flights. That's when everything was super cheap, and everybody was like, "Oh, I'll go back and fly." But American Airlines, same story again. So yeah, the airlines are going to fix themselves. Their profitability looks like it came back. We're going to get confirmation in the morning from Delta how much it did come back. We're looking at them to be on a course of, drum roll please, $1.2 billion in profit. If they're over $1.2 billion in profit, this thing is going to come right up to $60. So that's what we're hoping for. I don't know what the analyst estimates are yet. I looked at them earlier today. I didn't remember what they were, enough for you to know. But to come back to pre-COVID revenue is nice, and they did that. Now they got to come back to pre-COVID profit, and hopefully they'll do that tomorrow. But their record so far, how close have they gotten? The closest that they've gotten so far is 829, and they lost 363, and they did 695. So they almost got there here. I mean, they were like thinking about it in December. Maybe, but just no. But now if the prices have come back right, it might just be there. So that's what we're hoping. We will know tomorrow morning. We'll catch you on the next video. Thank you for tuning in. The airlines, everybody, this is going to be your next, you can just add $10 to Delta. You can double or triple on JetBlue. They're going to converge with Spirit. They're going to be twice as 50% bigger. They're going to be a 15 billion a year company instead of a 10 billion a year company. And they are going to benefit from their own airline successes and Spirit Airline successes, because they're going to own them early in 2024, and they're going to get all those jets and all those new gates. And the company comes with $1.5 billion in cash and is right side up on the balance sheet. It's not a burden. Don't let people tell you, oh, they can't carry the debt. Well, they're going to collect the airplanes and the mortgages on the airplanes. They're going to get them both. So yeah, they're going to carry that debt, and they're going to carry it right side up just like it is. Just like their own debt is. just 50% more of it. So JetBlue is going to probably double when it finds the money again, and then it's going to, I'm guessing, triple from here after the acquisition of Spirit Airlines is complete. And I think it's going to jockey up a little bit in anticipation of it becoming complete. There are some people that are going to say, oh, well, the debt is, they can't handle the debt. Or go look at Spirit's balance sheet. It's not scary at all. And look how much cash they have. It's paying for a third of this entire purchase. They're paying for it themselves with their own cash. And everything else is right side up. The only thing they're putting up that's crappy right now is earnings, because they're charging very little and they really don't seem to care about the bottom line all of a sudden. I guess they know they've been bought out. Why care about that anymore? They're just kind of throwing caution to the wind over there. JetBlue, yeah, is going to double or triple. American Airline, you can add $10 to this with a full recovery. So maybe some long-term option plays on some of these might be good ideas. Frontier is also a good one. Alaska Airlines is the number, I think, 5 carrier, maybe soon to be number 6. They're going to switch with JetBlue. JetBlue is going to take over the 5 spot perhaps after the Spirit merger. Then you got United. I think United only has another $10 to go before it can hit the we're full and we're at the pre-COVID levels. And I don't know how good the airlines were doing pre-COVID. They're probably doing pretty good. That was probably capacity. It seems to be a high point. So if they get back to there, we know what to expect their stock prices to be. So watch Delta tomorrow morning. It will be the line leader, and all the rest of them are just going to follow. And that's the joy of the airlines, is when one of them says something or does something amazing, they all just fall right into the like line leader. It's like Norwegian and Carnival Cruise Lines following each other around. It just doesn't matter whether they go up or they go down. They're doing it together. They're all like besties. And that's what the airlines do. They all just move like besties. So your good news gets multiply repeated, 6 times over again, and you get 6 perks. So negative news does the same thing, though. You get the 6 negative perks. But it's a hell of a thing to catch in a good bull market. Airlines, everyone. This is going to be the next big thing for a little while. Get your long-term options to go back to where they were at 2019 levels. And to do that, I don't know, in 6 months or a year. Get your long-term options and just watch them go up. Thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful afternoon. Please like the video and subscribe.